Do you like animals?
Animals?
Yeah, you would not want them to feel pain or suffer. You want them to be happy, right?
Yes.
But who do you eat?
We're eating pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals.
Right, so the animals that you eat, that doesn't include them, right? Why is that? Why is there a difference?
Ah, yeah. I
Like-
get their point, yeah.
Some animals you like,
Yeah.
yeah, and some you don't. Some you eat, right? Why is that? Have you decided that?
No, it's when we go, we're eating them.
Yeah, it's the culture, right?
Yeah, the culture.
Yeah, but is the culture right about it?
I think God.
In Bible, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What could be a good reason to make a difference? Every animal wants to live, right? Yeah, and every animal feels the same emotions, right?
Yeah.
So just because they are goats or pigs or cows, chickens, doesn't mean they have no emotions. They also want to live, right? Nobody wants to end up in a slaughterhouse. So that means if you do that, it is still murder, right? If you force someone to be caged, to give their milk to you, their eggs to you, and their body, that is exploitation, slavery, and murder. This is the sad reality.
We teach, we've learned to adapt like cycle.
Yeah.
We eat like pigs, chicken, like that.
Yeah, but that would include other animals as well, right? Like dogs, cats, right? It would include all animals,
Yeah.
almost, right?
It's in a culture level.
It's the culture, right? So the Bible says it's okay to eat animals if you need to, if you would otherwise starve to death, right? That's a reason to eat humans as well. Cannibalism.
Cannibalism, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's right. That doesn't mean that a good person would do that. A good person would not hurt someone else. And the Bible also says, don't hurt others, right? Don't kill, says the Bible.
Yeah. Maybe, in person lang, people. Don't kill.
Yeah. The culture teaches us what is normal. They teach us that we can eat certain animals and others we don't eat. But this mentality is not your opinion. It's just what you learn from the culture. So what is your opinion?
I think we're just going with the flow instead of everything. How
Yeah.
we grew up, no? Eating.
Yeah. See, I don't blame you because I was the same. I also grew up in a culture that eats a lot of meat, right? A lot of animals. And I also ate a lot of meat. But then I realized that I am responsible for the suffering that is going on in the animal industry and the slaughterhouses. And I changed. I just stopped doing that because I want to be a good human, not a human that causes a lot of suffering to others and death. If you think about it now that you know and from your own opinion, you want to be a good human, right? That doesn't cause pain to others. So what will you do from now on?
We're only just start eating vegetable instead.
That's good. And do you know what happens for dairy and eggs? Yeah, for milk and for eggs, the male babies, they are useless for the industries because they cannot produce milk or eggs, right? And that's why they get rid of them very early. They just kill them when they are babies. If you consume dairy or eggs, you're still responsible for the murder of animals, of babies even. And in the end, they end up in a slaughterhouse anyway, right? When they are used up. And their entire life is a life of suffering. They are exploited their entire life. Prison. You cannot enjoy a life in freedom, in nature. All they see is a farm, a factory farm, right? Where they are abused all their life. The solution is actually to not consume anything that requires exploitation.
Maybe slowly.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
our health din naman. We'll stop eating it.
Yeah.
It's good for our health.
But why do you want to do it slowly? Do you think it's easier to do it slow?
Yeah.
It is easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it slowly.
Actually, it is the opposite. If you take it slowly, it is like you are still used to eating animals.
Yeah, like that.
And then you always get that sensation again and again, you know? And it keeps the addiction alive. Yeah.
Do it quickly, it's not easy.
If you really care about the animals, it is easier
Yeah.
than doing slowly. Because if you do it slowly, then you are already aware of the suffering you're causing,
Yeah.
which makes your actions even more cruel. It kills your empathy. It kills your compassion, right? That makes you a cold person. And then you'll have even less reason to go fully vegan after time. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you get used to the suffering you're causing. And then it becomes normal to you that you are participating in that exploitation and murder. So my suggestion is to do it quickly. To just say, okay, I will from now on not hurt animals anymore. Right? And you can find the motivation for that in compassion. Right? How do you get compassion? How do you feel compassion? It's by watching your victims. It's by looking through the eyes of your victims and feeling what they feel. And you can do that by watching a documentary. Yeah. So like Dominion is a documentary about the animal industry. And you can see the animals, how they are feeling, how they suffer in the slaughterhouses and farms. It's about making the connection. And when you make the connection with your heart, right, then it will be very easy for you. And if you don't make the connection, if you say like, oh yeah, it's really cruel and it's really bad, we should not do that, but let's take it slowly, you see, then it will be hard for you. It will be very hard for you, I can tell. But for someone who connects with their victims, it is as easy as being vegan for an entire life and not feeling lacking anything. I mean, I have been vegan for 8 years. And that comes from compassion. And I see that you have a heart. That's why I approached you, because I thought you have a really kind energy. So I believe in you. Yeah.
Maybe we start watching documentary. After that, we can start the
Big. I don't want it to live longer for our children. So,
Yeah. It's healthier, right? Of course, yeah. It also is actually the only reasonable way to live. Because if you eat animal products, you are contributing in the destruction of the environment tremendously. So if you want to be a reasonable person, you have to be vegan. For your health, for the environment, and for the animals, of course. We are almost at the end of time, you know. We are running out of time. We really have to do what we can and inspire others to do the same. If we continue like this, the conversation will not be about animals anymore. It will be about existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, no, we don't have animals. People will eat each other now.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have cannibalism. Thank you.
thank you for
You-
your information.
Yeah, thank you. You are amazing. You are an inspiration for many other people. Yeah.
You're a good example.
Thank you. Thank you.
For 8 years you're a vegan, right?
8 years, yeah.
Now.
8 years.
Yeah. It's nice, 8 years.